Covered Chapel Greeley Israel Tour 2019. Are you all getting ready for this? Today is August 23rd, and we leave October 23rd, which is 2 months from today. Seems like we've been waiting for months and months and months and months for this time to get here, and it seems like it would never get here, but we're getting close, and before you know it, it's going to be time to go. I just wanted to put a few little helpful tips on here. I know a lot of you have never been there before and you don't know what to expect. I know Pastor Jeff will have a meeting probably about a month out where he's going to give a lot of helpful information too, but it doesn't hurt to get a jump on some of this stuff. I think probably the number one thing you want to be doing right now, if you're not, is walking. We do a lot of walking in this on this tour. It's nothing you don't have to be in marathon running condition, but get your legs and feet in good walking shape. If you're gonna buy any new shoes, I'd buy them now and get them broke in. I got some a couple weeks ago. I've been wearing them and I got them broke in. I like them, they're comfortable. First day I wore them, I got blisters, so I'm glad I started early. I'm up to like 30 miles a week right now, so I'll just continue along at about that pace and I'll be good to go. Probably the number one thing that you need to be thinking about is electricity. The voltage between Israel and the United States is different. We're 110 here and they're 220. So most of our electrical devices will not work in Israel without either adapting or converting. I would recommend adapting. And what I mean by that is use devices our phone chargers, for example. These will take 110 or 220. So these are ready. These will work in Israel. The only thing that won't work is this plug-in. Israel doesn't have the prong plugs like we do. They have this. They have round plugs. This is one I got. I got this off Amazon. So what you do with something like this is you plug it in there and then you plug that into the wall. Now, there is some places where they may not have a 3-prong. You can get 2-prong adapters. I don't have my hands on one. I can't show you one. I'll put a picture of one on there, but you can get them on Amazon, or I know they've got them in like Kohl's and Target and stuff like that. You can get an overseas travel kit, but they're 50, 60 bucks. They give you a whole bunch of stuff that you don't need. All you need is one. This one will also take USB. This has got 2 USB. So you really don't need this, but you can plug this into the USB, plug it into the wall, and then plug that into your phone. Androids, all phones, they sell international. So all your phone chargers, you don't have to worry about. They'll take the voltage. All you need to do is adapt it. What I did, and you ladies may want to consider, if you use curling irons and stuff like that, the bathrooms in there have hair dryers. Their hair dryers are hardwired into the wall. I believe they have irons in there too. There's an iron if you would need to use an iron. But my wife uses a curling iron. I bought one that's dual voltage. This isn't it, but it had a little switch on here. If you were in the United States, you click it to 110. If you were overseas, you click it to 220. The only issue you have with it is the plug-in doesn't fit, so you have to use one of these. What we did notice over there is the bathroom circuits. Where you plug this in the bathroom, for some reason, must have something to do with with water being in the bathroom or not. But the bathroom circuit is not strong enough to run a 220 hair dryer. I mean a curling iron. It just will not heat up. So what we ended up doing was plugging it into the hallway, and then my wife had to hold a hand mirror and do her stuff with her hair that way, but you couldn't use the bathroom circuit. Those are just a little weaker. It must be some kind of a safety regulation. So if you need to use a curling iron, your best bet is to use it in the hall or over by the dresser, or maybe bring a hand mirror. That'll help you see what you need to see. If you're going to be taking a lot of pictures on your phone, if you're going to use your phone a lot, well, let's talk about that right off the bat. Your phones, your cellular is going to be expensive over there. So what you want to do is check with your carrier's overseas plan if you think you need one. I know Verizon has one. If I would use my cell, I'd sign up for the plan with Verizon, and if I use it on a day, they charge me $15, and that's for the whole day. If I use it the next day, that's another $15. So you can see on a 10-day trip, that would run you about $150. I saw no use to have a cell phone plan over there because you can get around it. If you run a business and you have to be in communication constantly with your home office or something like that, a plan may be beneficial. But you can, once you board the plane in Newark and we get to head over to across the pond, turn your phone's cellular service off. Because if you get over there as soon as you land in Israel and turn your phone on, if you've got all your push notifications, all your email, all your Facebook and all that stuff sent to you, it's going to start downloading a bunch of stuff, and you're going to have like a gazillion-dollar cell bill. So turn it off, put it on Wi-Fi only. You can make Wi-Fi calls over there. The hotels have Wi-Fi. There's hotspots all over the place in there. The bus even has Wi-Fi. The bus Wi-Fi was a little unpredictable, but we're touring over there. You want to see the sights. You don't want to stay buried on Facebook anyway. But just set everything up where you can do it Wi-Fi. If you've got to send emails, make phone calls, you can make them over Wi-Fi from the hotel at night or from a restaurant or a hotel when we're walking around. You can always find a Wi-Fi hotspot. If you're going to use your phone a lot, taking pictures, taking videos, I plan on taking a lot of videos. I've got a decent phone here with a decent camera on it. Just to make sure your battery doesn't run out, because we're going to be gone from 8 o'clock in the morning till 5, 6 o'clock at night. What I have is I got these over at the Verizon store. It's called the Mophie Power Station. I think it's $29.95. They look like this. What they do, this will hold about 4 charges, 3 or 4 charges for your phone. So if your phone battery runs dead, you just USB it, plug it into your phone, and in 30 minutes or whatever, you can just keep this in your pocket and keep it connected, and you can run your phone off this for hours and hours and hours and hours. I've got 2 of these. I plan on taking both of them. The chances are we're not going to run into any rain. I mean, last time we got sprinkled on a few times, nothing too severe, but I didn't want to carry an umbrella. And just in case, I went to, I think, the dollar store, and you can get these little disposable ponchos for about $1 a piece. I just keep a couple of those in my backpack, just in case you would run into a storm and need to cover up. You're covered. I did get a nice backpack before we left the last time. This one, I think, is $50-$60. It's got a nice little pocket there. You can put a water bottle in. Another pocket there. It's got 3 or 4 compartments. You can strap it on your back like a backpack, or there's another strap. You can carry it over your shoulder, you know, like a shoulder bag. And I think there's another strap in there if you wanted to carry it around like a briefcase, you could. This is Cuprine, Kuprine, which is I was very happy with this. It's waterproof. It is, I believe it's RFD resistant or whatever, so nobody can steal your information. We're going to be in a foreign country. There is the the possibility that we could run across pickpockets. I don't recommend you carrying your wallet in your back pocket. I'd keep it in your front where you can keep a good feel on it. Or what I did is I bought one of these. This, I got it on Amazon. It's called a Yomo. It's a little hidden wallet. It's got a place in there for your credit cards. Place in here, you can stick your cash, your passport. You know, I carried 2 passports. The only ID that I carried, the only cards that I carried was my credit card, my driver's license, and my insurance card. Everything else I left home, and my passport. This ties around my neck. I wore a button-up shirt, so if I stopped somewhere and I needed to pay, I just undo, you know, the button of my shirt. I could reach in and access my money, and nobody could get to my wallet. When we get into, you know, the old city of Jerusalem, we're going to be on some really tight streets. They're really going to be crowded. I know the last time we were there, I'd spotted some pickpockets working. There's going to be like some little cute girls that are going to want to tag along and follow you, and, you know, they won't be able to understand a word you're saying, but they're going to look real cute at you, and you're going to just love them to death. And they could turn out to be a pickpocket. One of them followed us for quite a while, and I ended up seeing her later when we were getting on the bus with a group of men. So I'm sure she was working with those group of men. Could have been, you know, fathers, brothers, or whatever. But I was positive she was a pickpocket. So, you know, you wanna keep your wits about you. Women, make sure your purse has got a good zipper on it, and it's got a strap that'll go, you know, over your arm and over your neck, where somebody would have a hard time pulling it off. If it's just like this, somebody could snatch it a whole lot easier and run with it. But that's something you got to be aware of. A backpack, I could carry everything I needed. I carried a couple of notebooks in there. I carried my Bible in there. Kept all my, you know, my phone equipment. I had a few things like some aspirin and stuff like that. And my Bible, I carried this pretty good sized Bible, and I carried it with me, which I liked, because you can make notations. We're going to stop and do some Bible studies, and what I did on this is, say for example, when we stopped at where the Lord called Gideon, and he had, you know, an army of 10,000, and the Lord said, that's too many. And to filter them out, he had them go down to the brook, and, you know, whoever lapped with their hands, he selected. But we'll get an opportunity to drink out of that brook. And in my Bible, what I did is I just got my finger a little bit muddy from that brook, rubbed it in the sand. It's a pretty clear brook. It's not really muddy. But I got my Bible wet there, and I made a little smudge on there. So every time I come across that when I'm reading my Bible, that brings me back to the time where I was right in that exact spot. We'll be on the north side of the Dead Sea, not the Dead Sea, Sea of Galilee, where Jesus recommissioned Peter, where they fished all night and didn't catch anything. And in the morning, Jesus was sitting there on the beach waiting for them, told them to cast on the other side, and they ended up catching 253 fish or whatever. And Peter come running up, and, you know, that's where Jesus asked him, do you love me? Feed my sheep. Do you love me? Do you love me? 3 times. I got my finger wet right there in the Sea of Galilee and smudged it on that page on my Bible, and it helps keep this. This is going to come alive for you over there. And just bringing my personal Bible with me and taking it and making notations on all the places we stopped in my old age keeps the Bible alive in my head. It may seem like a pain to carry one of these around, but I didn't mind it at all. Some people, you know, just brought some smaller ones to take with them from the trip, and that's perfectly fine, but I just decided I was going to take this with me. And we're going to be leaving on the 23rd I think our plane leaves Denver at 1:30 in the afternoon, somewhere around there. It's going to take us 3.5 hours to get to Newark, and then Newark we'll have a layover till almost 11 o'clock at night. And once we get over there, we'll be met at the airport by a Israeli tourist information guide, and we'll walk together, and we'll go to passport control, and he'll help us, get checked in with our passports, stuff like that. We'll get our bags, and we'll go meet our tour guide for the week, and we'll board the bus to go to the hotel for the night. We'll get a meal there, and we'll get there fairly early. We get into Tel Aviv at 4:30 in the afternoon, so we may be lucky and get to the hotel before dark. I don't know. We're only going to be spending one night there, but on the way to the hotel, the guide will talk to us, and he'll give us the agenda for the evening and what's going to happen in the morning. We'll learn to watch out for each other. We'll go places as a group. When the better we can be on time. The last time our group was so on time that we were able to squeeze in a couple of extra sites to visit just because we saved that much time. They told us the night before we left that we were a rare group. A lot of groups, they have to, whenever they stop, it takes them a while to round everybody up. But if we can be back at the bus at the time our guide tells us to be back at the bus and get out of there on time, we can get some extra stuff in, and we will. We're going to have the same guide we had last time, and he is excellent. So if we can remember that. In the mornings, we'll be in Tel Aviv one night, so don't unpack your bags that night. The guide will tell you that. And in the morning, we'll come down for breakfast. Bring your bag with you. You can leave it by the door, and somebody will pick it up. But I suggest just bringing it down. I always made sure mine got on the bus. And don't forget your key card when we're leaving the hotel and we're not coming back. We're going to a different location. Don't forget to turn that in, because they check. And when we're on the bus ready to go at 8 o'clock, if there's 2 or 3 people that forgot to turn their key in, Ami, the guide's got to round it up, take it to the desk, turn it in, and we're going to lose time. But we'll stay together as a team all the time. We'll watch out for each other, and we'll get to know each other really well. I hope you're all getting excited for this, and I've got stuff here. I've got a few more things I could say, but this video is getting pretty long. Maybe I'll put out another one a little later down the line. Like I say, Jeff will be having a meeting probably in a month or so, and he'll go over some other stuff with us. And if anybody's got any questions on if you've got an electronic device, on if it'll work or how it will work over there, you can get with me, ask me, leave a comment on the video, shoot me an email, catch me at church or whatever, and I'll help you through. I'll put some links in the description on where I got the backpack, that other adapter that I don't have. This one I do have. Whatever I did with this one, I'll find the link on Amazon if anybody wants to pick up one of these. I did notice in one of those hotels that their outlet was too close to the countertop or the desktop, where you couldn't get this one plugged in, but that's where you're gonna need one that's just got 2 prongs. And I believe on the nightstand, right next to the nightstand on most of those beds, there's a USB. But if you get this, you can plug in 2 devices. So you can plug in yours and your wife's phones, charge up your phones, your tablets, you can swap them out during the night. But there's a couple I didn't watch any TV, so I just unplugged the TV and I used that outlet. So, I was able to keep my wife's phone, my wife's iPad, my iPad, my phone, all charged up at night. If you take your laptop, you want to be able to keep that charged. Like I say, passport control, customs going into Israel is no big deal. It only takes a few minutes. They'll ask you a few questions, but you tell them, you're a tour group coming in with Coral Travel, and they're used to the drill. They get a gazillion tourists a year in there, and they'll work with you. I think only one person got held up a little bit, and that was Vertus. So if any of you know Vertus, you probably know why he got held up. Leaving, it's a little more to it leaving. You got to kind of claim what you're leaving, but I'm getting too long anyway. Anyway, if you got any questions, call me. Let me know, and we'll go from there. Say, till we get done with this trip, I plan on posting videos every day from the tour on YouTube, just if anybody back here wants to look at it. But I'll probably come in as I think of stuff that, you know, may be helpful to some of you guys. I'll come out with another video or two before we leave. So maybe just hit the subscribe button and the bell notification down below, and that way you'll know when I put something out. And then once we get done with Israel and stuff, you can just cancel, unsubscribe, or whatever. But there is some more stuff I got in the back of my head. I just need to sort it all out on what can be helpful to some people that have never been over there before. All right, that's it.